Hi everyone, this is Tammy at Snowstorm Crafts, and today I want to show you guys how to use a napkin and tea bags, and you can incorporate it in making things with it. So we got tea bags and a napkin. So please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and you guys can see my next video when I post it. Like, comment, and share, and let's grow together. Okay, so what I have here, I'm going to tell you how I do all these real quick. So let's start with the napkin. Or this is a paper towel. You could do napkin or paper towel, but I have paper towel rolls that have fun butterflies and flowers on them. And I also use this to make my junk mail journals. And it's pretty much the same concept I'm going to show you guys today. It's just the glue and water mixture, and it's just like an Elmer's glue, and it's 2 parts glue and 1 part water, and then you need a paintbrush, and then just mix it all together, or put it in here and shake it so you can have that, and I'll show you the consistency of what it should look like. But this is a napkin, and I'll tell you how I dyed it to make it look like this, because this is what it looks like originally. So when I get the napkin, it looks just like that. But these are in my Etsy shop if you guys want to come check them out. They're fun little gifts, and they have just some fun little things in it. And they got some pockets, and it's just a cute little junk mail journal. That would make a great little stocking stuffer and stuff. It's got ink dyed and all that throughout. And that's that. So this is what I did to make it look like this. I got a spray bottle, so just a spritzer, and I use my RIT dye. So I use this for tie-dyeing. And in my Etsy shop, I have tie-dyed banners that I make and flags, and I tie-dye rainbow gift bags for birthday parties and stuff. So if you guys want to come check those out, that'd be awesome. But this is RIT dye, is what I use, and it's very concentrated into liquid. So I just take a lid full, half a lid, depending on how strong you want it to look, and you could put it in your spritz bottle. And then I also have these just tie-dye bottles too, that you could take and just kind of splash it around on it. You know, you could just do the splasheroo like that on it. And so you could do that. I don't want to get my other napkin wet, because we're going to use that. Okay, so you could do that, or you could fill this up a little bit with just like a half a lid full, and just, you know, fill that up, and you could do a spritz it, and then just let it sit overnight and dry. And then just make sure before you use it, whoops, well, just don't knock things over. Okay, so it's the RIT dye, and you can spritz it and dye it how you want. But before you use it, and usually when it's wet, I'll go ahead and dye it, because I don't mind using, like, this is the back part of it. See, that's just with all the different colored dyes that I used, and you can mix them. But you split it. So after I dye it, and this is the pain in the butt part, there you go. You just take it and you can rip it in half. Just rip it all the way in half, and then you can see it soak through, so you can dye it on both sides. So that's how I dye it. So that's that, and then that's the back part, and then this is the front part. So it just depends. Like this one I dyed more heavy, like a heavier dye, you know, like I used more. And this one I just did like a little lighter. So like I said, you could just do different ways you want to dye it. Okay, so that's how I did that. And then the tea bags, these are just, me and my husband, we drink chamomile tea. So it doesn't really, like a Lipton tea would dye it more, you know, so you'd have really good dyed bags. But mine, they're not that dyed. They look like that compared to that. So, you know, this is with the tea in it. And you could see. So what I do is I empty, here, let's do step by step. So I wanted to show you guys. I got 2 different tea bags. Okay. So this one, I just take it, get all the tea down and just cut it and get all the tea out. And sometimes, you know, when I do dye these, because what I do is I'll dye them in avocado dye that I make and an onion dye. So even if there's a little bit of tea left in it, it gives it kind of a cool, you know, like keeping some of the tea on it is kind of neat. So like when you paste it down and put it on top of an image, it's kind of neat. It gives it more of a rustic look to it. And I dye it with paper too. Like I'll throw paper in and then throw the tea bags in too. So some of this will get on to the paper and it's just got a cool texture to it and stuff. So I'm not too concerned about getting every last drop of, you know, tea out of it. Okay. And these little ones like this, when I cut them, I have some over here and I'll show you guys, we can use them for pockets. So these little square ones are nice to keep, but I'll show you guys how we can use them for just little pockets that we can glue down. Okay, so you can see the difference. So these are avocado or onion dyed, and that's what I do is I soak them in there and I cut it. So that's how I do that one. And then these tea bags are the bigger ones, like this. So you get the bigger. And what I do, now you could take it and take the staple off and unpoke it and stuff, but I have no patience, so I just go ahead and cut it. And then it unfolds. And just get all your tea out. And it just opens up. This is a little wet. I had tea last night, and so it's a little wet in there. I tried to lay it out, but that's okay. That's the great thing about these tea bags is they don't rip easy because they're made not to rip. I mean, you can rip them, but it's better than like a napkin, or, you know, like a napkin will rip, or a paper towel will rip way easier. These are more durable, you know. So that's what I do, and I just open them up, and you can snip off the edges here too if you want to, but I just keep them on. So that's that. And you can see the difference. Because I was like, this isn't dyed enough. But regular like Lipton tea and stuff, or, you know, like a stronger tea would have a better dye on it. So it'll tea dye itself. So I went ahead and just threw these in, just like that. Okay. So that's how I do that. And I keep these. I dye these too. I throw them in, and these are great little tabs. You could take the tabs and put them on the sides of paper, and you have little tabs. So I keep those. And those work great. Okay. So now, what I want to show you guys is the other day, I did a master board. And I'll put the link down below, but we did a master board together. And I'm going to make sure you guys are in frame. Okay, hold on, I'll raise this up. This is what I'm going to start off with, is using the master board just to add another element to it. I'm going to use some napkin or paper towel and some tea bags with some images underneath. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Okay. So we can start off with words. I just ripped them out of a magazine, or you can cut them out. I cut some of them and ripped some of them. So just different fun, inspiration, you know, and pleasure and heart and altar, just different words that you want to use. Okay. And we'll just set it down anywhere on here. Now we can take one of our big ones and put it down, or we could take and collage, like you can mix these together. Like you could take a little one here and then do an onion dyed and a avocado dyed just to mix it up. So you can lay them down like that, and then you got your mixture. Okay. Try not to make too big a mess here. So you're just gonna, oh, and I'll show you the consistency. So just kind of, just like that. We don't want it too thick and you don't want it too thin. Just like a good runny paste, you know. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna go ahead and glue it down where we want it. Okay, and then put some glue over the top of it. And then just lay down your tea bags. And then see how you can see through it? And it just looks really cool. So just kind of wet it all down. And then the wrinkles in it, just keep those because they look great. You know, you can even make it a little more wrinkly, a little less wrinkly, however you want to do it. And you can see the stamp work and all that stuff's coming through because we did a layer of stamping. And what I like to do is take the edges and just to make them not so straight, you could take them and just kind of just do a little push after you get enough glue on there. You just kind of push the edges in just to give it so it looks a little more not so uniformed, you know, and just kind of gives it a little more character. And make sure you can see your word, and you can always pull it. So you can take it and pull it and move it around because this takes a little bit to dry. It'll be overnight situation or a couple hours at least. Okay. I mean, you could probably take your blow dryer to it too and do it faster. Okay, so just like that. So there's one, and that's a word. So now let's go ahead and do an image. And it doesn't have to be just magazine stuff. You could do newspaper. You could do book pages. You could take some book pages and put it around and do that. I mean, pretty much anything you could think of that you want to put down on here. And it will come through. See, there's a little T on it. So I think that's kind of cool looking. All right, so let's take this one, put it here. Oh, gotta glue it down first. So glue it down. Make sure it's good and stuck. And then I start from the center and just kind of work my way out. Like that. There. And you can see it coming through, so that's really cool. And like I said, the wrinkles look really neat in it. I like that. So I hope you guys are getting your craft supplies out and getting out your glue and making a mixture and getting out your tea bags. And so just start saving your tea bags, you know, like put those to the side and let them sit and dry out. And then you just take all the stuff out of them, and then you can dye them, you know, or keep them the way they are. But they're really durable. That's what I like about them. And they're really nice to work with. And it just gives everything just more of a texture. You can do this on, and I've done a video on it, I'll have to find it, but you could do it on playing cards. That's a fun one to go ahead and put a tea bag on top and make like a journaling card and stuff with it. And that's what the masterboard, that's the fun part about doing it on a masterboard, because when it's all dried, which I have a dry one, and I'll show you guys when we get through this, and we'll cut some and make some journaling cards and some tags and stuff. So that'll be fun. So this is how I do the tea bags on there. Okay. And now I want to show you guys the paper towel. So I would say I want the image of just the butterfly. So this one's really easy. So you just rip out what you want, or, you know, keep it however you want. And this is pretty much the same concept I did on the junk mail journals that I did from the junk mail. But I just used the whole thing. But for this, we're just going to take it and just put it wherever you want. Just find a good spot. Okay. And you just glue it down. That easy. That easy. There we go. And you could do the same concept where you just kind of wrinkle it and wrinkle the edges if you want. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna speed up the process here. So that's how you do the napkin, is just kind of just do that. And then when it dries, it looks really cool. So I'm gonna speed up the process and I'm gonna do a bunch all over and we'll go from there. We got all this done. You guys can see it. So I just got different words and images and just some fun little things that you want to put on your master board. Okay, so this one's done. I'm going to let it dry. And while that's drying, here, I'll set it over here. And while that's drying, I want to show you guys how to do an image without the masterboard. So what I do with the tea bags, so here I'll show you. So what I do is I take, you can just take plastic or any kind of thing that you're going to want to peel it from. So like a plastic bag or just some of the bags that you get in the mail and stuff like that. Just even a cereal box liner, those work great. Okay, and this stuff is awesome. I love it. It's press and seal, and I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's with Glad, and it sticks. So when you press it down, you can stick it where you want it. So like when I'm gluing or doing stuff, I'll bring this out and it makes it really nice and you can reuse it. So it's still sticky. So what I do is I stick it to the wall right beside me and then I have it for later. So I just kind of stick it there until the stick runs out. Okay, so what we're gonna do is just kind of put this down, just some kind of plastic or anything you got. And let's take an image. And I think it's just fun to work with magazine, stuff or, just fun little images that you have that you can find. So let's see. Oh, this one would be cool. We'll do the jar. Okay. So just go ahead and stick that down. And it's pretty much just the same concept, except for you're not sticking it onto the masterboard or onto something. You're just going to make it for later until you guys want to put it to something. So I'll show you. So you just go like this. Okay. Well, I guess you don't need to stick it. I'm thinking masterboard in my head. You don't need to glue the back of it. So either way, it doesn't matter. It'll still come up. So you don't have to glue the back of it. You just want to take it, stick it down, and then make this stick to it. Yeah, because we're not sticking it forever to this piece. We want it to peel up. So it should still peel up even though I stuck it like that, but you don't need to. It's just a waste of glue. I was still in a masterboard mode. Okay. So I love just how the image just pops through and it just looks so antique-y, and if that's a word. I think I made that one up. A little antique-y. Now, same concept, just get enough glue down. Okay. And then you can make it wrinkly. So you can do some wrinkles throughout. Just gives it like an aged look. Okay, and then just push the corners. Pushing the corners like this too makes it easier to pull up. Okay. All right, there we go. And so you just do that. And then we let it dry. And I have one that has been drying, so I will show you guys. I think it's ready. Okay, so that's how you do it. So go ahead and just do that. You don't need to glue it down first, so just kind of stick the image you want down. Put glue on top of the image. Put the tea bag on top. Voila. So there you go. And then just set it over, don't touch it, and let it dry. That's the hard part. Okay, so I'm just going to put it to the side, let it dry. And what I have done is this image. I thought that was cute. It's just fun. And you can do this with anything, you know, book pages, anything that you find pretty, beautiful, that you want to keep, that you want to put on a, like, okay, let me show you. Because this, so you're just going to want to take it after it dries. And you can just peel it off, just like that. It just peels right off. So now what you're with, and then you can just cut off any things that you don't want. Like this one didn't push down like I thought, so then I just kind of finagle and mess with stuff that I want. And this is, you know, I did this right before I started filming, and I put it in front of the heater to dry it, and so I guess it dries pretty fast. It dried pretty fast. Okay. So now you have your image, right? So you got this. It's looking really antique-like and beautiful, and you want to use it for something. So you can either, you can put it on a pocket. You can just, you can even just clip it to the side of a journal inside and just have this, you know, you could put avocado paper or dyed paper on the back or any kind of cardstock or anything and make it a journal card. So you could do that. And that's kind of the concept I was thinking here, is making this into like a journal card. So what we got is a manila envelope, and you can see I avocado dyed it, or tea dye, or I think this is avocado. And the tea bags were in there, so you could see just the little tea everywhere. It kind of, you know, if you scratch it, it'll come off, but it's on there. It's not going to come off. So I think that gives it kind of more of an in-depth look too. So now, all you got to do is, just make sure, I think I want to go ahead and do this side. So when I do this side, oops, not like that, it'll have this look on the outside, which I kind of like that. So, can you guys see? I'm sure you can see. Okay, and then I'm just going to take it and glue with my art glitter glue, and then it won't be as wrinkly. And if you wanted to use the paste, that would work fine. Just make sure to press it, because it's going to start wrinkling, because this is a water-based glue. This has, you know, it's the Elmer's or the school glue or the white glue, and it's water-based, so it does wrinkle. And I know this has water in it too, but we're just doing a little, you know, we're not using as much, and just doing a little line and stuff around. So, and I'll probably wind up pressing this too, just because. Okay. Now I'm thinking I want to keep the edges just free and wrinkly, so, which I think gives it a nice texture and something fun to play with. And I know we all like playing with our paper. Okay, so I'm just giving it a glue here. we go. See, so that's the fun thing is if you want to do and have just these like just sitting, you know, you can make a whole bunch of different kind of images with tea bags on them and put them away in a drawer, put them in a file, and then bring them out when you want to use them and what you want to put them on. Because sometimes, you know, this could even be a journal cover. Like if you get a, you know, like if I'm making a little journal, which would be awesome to make this into a journal cover that you could put right on the front. And you never know, I might still do that. So now what I want to do is go ahead and let's cut it out. So here's the tricky part. I want to keep the edges here. See, and then I got the fun just flowing edges like that. And then I can just do whatever I want here and do some journaling and however you want to do it. So I think that turned out really cute. So that's one idea, to do that. And then the master board is the other idea. And then here is my dried master board with different images and stuff that I did the other day. And I went ahead and pressed it too. I did a press on it, which seems to help, which you could do heavy books or just anything. My husband made me just these boards that I take and bolt down, and then it flattens in the middle. So, and it's not that big, so I had to do half one night and then half the other night. But you kind of got, you know, because after a while it's going to start wrinkling a little bit and stuff. So I just did this on a manila envelope just to get it for cardstock. And like I said, I have a video on how I did all this, and I will put that down below. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is we can make a journal card or even a tag. Maybe we'll make a tag out of it and I'll show you guys. Okay. I'm going to do it in fast motion. Just I need to go trim the edges and stuff and get all that done. And then I'll bring you guys back. All this cut out, and I think it turned out really cute. And that's the fun part about it, is with the masterboard, is you just, you know, randomly cut out the pieces, and then you see what you want to make with them. And make sure to keep the edges too, like this is the edges of it, because this would be great for some more clusters and stuff to make. So always keep that kind of stuff. So now I'm going to pick one, and I think I like this one. I think that turned out really cute. Okay. And then you can just see the different images. And then like these could be little small tags and bigger tags and journaling cards and just whatever you want, because you got your cardstock already on the back. Okay. So now let's go ahead and let's make a tag. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut the side here. And I just line up the other side. Okay. And like if it's coming apart like that, so just go ahead. I mean, sometimes that can happen. Just go ahead and take your glue and just go around the edges. There we go. Just stick her down. Because you got layers, you know, with the master board and stuff. So you just want to make sure you're getting all the pieces. No flyaways, as I call it. We don't want them flying away. There we go. Okay. So we stuck those together good. And going to grab my crocodile. Okay. And I think that's too pointy, so I'm going to go like this. There we go, I like that better. Okay, so you do it how you want it. And this is a crocodile, which has two hole punch sizes and an eyelet setter. So we got 3/16 for a hole punch right here, and then an 1/8 of a hole punch, so it's smaller. And for the eyelet setter, the top part is the pokey part goes into the top, and then the flat disc part flattens it for the eyelet, and I'll show you guys that. So what we're gonna do is the 3/16 side here, and I'm just gonna pop a hole in it. Just wherever you want, just center it as good as you can. Okay, and I am gonna take my ink. Let's do vintage photo. Just do the vintage photo. And I think just it frames it nicely, you know. Just gives it a good little frame going. And I just love all the layers and textures, and then throwing just a tea bag in it and some, you know, a napkin too. It just gives it an extra something. Just, you know, just something people can look at and go, oh yeah, look at all the different layers that are in there. And it's pretty easy and fun to do, you know. It's really relaxing, and you just kind of just sit there and do it, and it always turns out different. So it's not like you're getting the same thing every time. And I think that's what makes it so exciting and new each time. Okay, so we got that. And then these are the eyelets. I was thinking yellow would look nice, huh? What do you think of that? Yellow, or get crazy and do gold. I don't know. I kind of like the gold. Let's get crazy. Okay. Oh, this is me getting crazy. Like, it's shiny. So you just pop it through the hole that you just made. And then make sure everything's pressed down. Okay. And you're gonna take the pokey part here, this part, and that goes into the top up here. So you can see, it just goes in through the top, and then you smash it. There we go. And you got yourself an eyelet set. Okay, so we do that, and this is from an old Hawaiian t-shirt, like a button-up shirt, and that's why you keep everything. You keep everything, or go to Goodwill, or just don't get rid of it, because you can do all kinds of stuff with it. Things that you could never imagine. So now I'm gonna make a cute little tie at the top. And I keep all the threads because clusters are our friends. So I keep all the threads that I have and just some extra rope. These make great clusters. And I do have a video on clusters. You have to come check it out. So that's why all these loose threads that come off and stuff, you just keep them. Okay. So now let's go ahead and pop it through. I have to do a couple knots here. I always make it a little longer so I'd rather cut it down than, you can't add more, you know. So just cut it at an angle. And there we go. And now if you want, on the back of it, we could go ahead and do like a cute little stamp. Just a fun little something or another. What is this? Oh, there we go. I just grabbed one. It's just a little flower. Oop, little flower. Just to add something back here. There we go. Just gives it something. Just like that. And if we want to get really crazy, we can do our fabric paints. It's 3D fabric paint is what they're called. But just puff paints pretty much. And they work really good. So we can go ahead and this will be the last thing we do because we want it to dry. So you don't want to touch it. So metallic gold or metallic copper. I say we do a little bit of both. So you're just going to want to go here. We'll go here. Oop, up, down, like that. Try not to give them tails here. Wow, I got way too much that came out. But that's okay. We'll work with it. Up, down. I don't know. It's because I think it's cold. It was cold last night, so these don't want to work that good. Okay. There we go. And then let's do this one down at the bottom. Yeah, let me test it over here. There we go. I don't know what I'm getting sometimes. So then this just kind of ties it all together. And you could do this on your masterboard too. You can go ahead and, but then you don't know when you're cutting. You could cut through a puff paint or a little, you know, fabric paint. So it's kind of nice just to put them where you want them. And it just kind of frames everything out and makes it look nice. So I hope you guys got your crafting supplies out and crafted along with me and, you know, found this informational. Oh my goodness, I think that has a clog in it. There we go. So there. Woohoo! So we got a little crazy today. Got out the puff paints here and let's see if I can show you guys. So it just turned out really cool. It just kind of gives it just a little frame around it. So that's what I do with tea bags and with napkins. And if you guys could please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and you guys can see my next video when I post it. Like, comment, and share, and let's grow together. And keep on crafting, guys. Have a great day. Okay, I'm back because I forgot to show you guys how to do a fun little pocket with the tea bag. So it's just one of the square tea bags and you just cut the top off and dump all the stuff out and you leave the top open. So you find a journaling spot. I mean an open spot. Any spot would do. Wow, there you go. Woohoo! That's a bright page. So now you can go ahead and get your glue out. And it's pretty, you know, it's pretty easy, but I wanted to show you guys because I talked about it. I might as well show you. So I'm just going to glue the edges here. Because if you glue the middle, it would seep through and close the pocket. So let's just do it in the middle. Okay, so we're just going to glue the edges. And we can even add some stamping and, you know, you can do some fun things on it. Here, let's do this. Wow, I lost my page. I lost my page. And let's do black. Do some black soot. So I think this would look kind of cool. Just go ahead and get a good stamp here. Good stamp full. And I know you should have a hard thing behind you when you stamp, but I didn't, but that's okay. I think it turned out good. So you could do some stamping on it. And then you got yourselves. Now here's the fun part, is you got 2 pockets. You got one for the back here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Here, let me grab something. There we go. So you got one behind it that you can use. And then you got one for the front pocket. And what's cool is you can see through it. So that makes it fun. So you got 2 pockets. You got a back pocket back there that you can see. And then you got the front pocket right here. And you could see through it to see what's inside of it. So there. I mean, you could stick other things in there besides. You know, you can just stick some fun. This is just what I have on my desk right now. So there. I just wanted to show you guys that because I talked about it and totally forgot. So that's how you do a tea bag pocket. So have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time.